Hi there and welcome to week number 2 of the 100-Day Project. Mine is the 100 Days of Anthropology Stories. If you follow me on Instagram, I'm at Roben-Marie, and I have little stories that go with each one of my pieces. I take a piece of the catalog from anthropology and I incorporate it into some mixed media work, and then I write a story about it. Just a quick couple sentence story. So follow me on Instagram and you'll see those every day. This is just a quick walkthrough or flip through of week number 2. So let's start with day 8. This is actually a craft envelope. If you look here, this is actually the flap of the envelope. And I had jelly printed it and it was in my stash, so I grabbed it up to use. I took a chair image out of the catalog and I painted over it and then doodled on it, so it kind of looks like it's sketched. I added an art pop card here from the Urban Fringe collection, and then I used a stamp from the Dream Thicket collection. Half of it I stamped and then added it onto the top here. And then I did some more doodling and some more marks, and I stitched up here at the top to finish it off. And that was just really quick. An easy way. You can see how this one's printed on the back. I just grabbed it from the stash and used it. So I like to have some of those in my stash so that I can just grab them up whenever I need to use them. Day number 9 is a tag as well. This was actually a black tag, and I painted it and I did some marks on it. I even dripped some high flow golden acrylics on it. And I added some stitching, and I stitched on a little bit. This is actually twill and a piece of sari ribbon. I stitched that on and then added this photograph from the anthropology catalog. So the story is actually around this Volkswagen. So this is day number 9, and it's just a tag. All right, day number 10 was actually done. I had originally made this out of file folder. I had just collaged it and had pieces of it, and I thought that I would cut it down, and I rounded the corners and I painted it and I collaged more paper on it, and then I added a tab from the Urban Fringe collection. I stitched that over the top, and then the photograph, it's from the anthropology catalog home, where there's some bowls and some pottery here in a shelf, and so the story is surrounding this idea of the bowls on the shelf. And then I just did a little bit more painting, added some masking tape, and this one was finished. So that was day number 10. Day number 11 is actually a brown paper lunch bag. And this is the bottom of the bag, and I folded it up so you have this pocket on the back here. And I could even come back later and finish this off. And then I painted the front of it, added some paper, stitched up the sides, glued on an art pop card, and this is from the Urban Fringe collection as well. Cut out this spoon from the catalog, and then I just doodled over it just to make it look a little bit more sketchy. And so this is day number 11, and I love this one because I have the option here of even using this, the back of it as a pocket. So I really grab whatever's around me. I have tons of things on the table and I don't really think too much about it. Just grab something and use it as the substrate. It really makes it easier to have to not really think too much. So now this one is day number 12. And day number 12 was in this piece of paper here is scrapbook paper. And I had used it in some jelly prints. It wasn't really finished. It was in the stash, and I thought, you know what? I'm gonna cut it and fold it. And that's what I did. So this is actually another one that is a pocket, so you can just put stuff in there. And then I stitched up the sides. I glued on an art pop card. This one's from the Santa Bel Days collection. And then the catalog pieces are these 3 flowers. And I really liked how they blended and complemented the pattern in the paper and the colors that I had used. And so the story is around those flowers. So that is day number 12, and that one is also a pocket. Still could use some things on the back of it. Day number 13. I love day number 13. This one is a white envelope, a white catalog envelope. And here, this is actually the flap of the catalog envelope. So what I did is I folded the catalog envelope in half. And this is actually, folded in half. We now have another pocket, which is pretty cool. And I left the flap open. I painted it. I stapled on a tab from the Urban Fringe collection. I added some more papers and more paint. And this piece here is from one of my underpapers on my work surface. And let me show you that. Just, you can see this one here. It's kind of over in this area. It's kind of messy. Well, I keep those on my work surface so that I have lots of paper that I can use later. I also stamped this is the image from the Dream Thicket collection. It's a partial flower, and I just really liked how that looked there. Complements this black and white here. And then this is a piece of an Art Pop card from the Wait For Me collection, and I cut a piece of it off and I just stapled it. So it just kind of complements it. It adds more layers and more texture to it. And then I did some stitching around the sides as well. I left the back blank, but I can come back later and I can use it for whatever I want. I can tuck anything in here pretty much. Little booklet, notes, and this is one of my favorites too. I love this one. All right, and here is day 14, the last of the week, the last day of the week. This was done with a smaller catalog envelope, and I had collaged it with some papers. It was actually in my stash, and I hadn't quite finished it, so I decided to use it. And it had some, a handwritten letter was on it, so I glued that down. And then I folded it over, so, I love pockets. So I have a pocket here from the envelope itself, and then by folding it over and making it smaller, I have this other little pocket here. And this is just some paper for my own artwork. And then I stitched on a tab as well. And then I used a photograph from the catalog. This was just a black and white, and I loved how it played off the colors from the piece that I used. And so I've got a couple pockets here I can use. Could even still close that if I wanted to and use that in some other way. So I really like how that one turned out. All right, so that's day 14, and that is a walkthrough of that week number 2. I hope that you enjoyed that, and again, you can find me on Instagram and at Roben-Marie, and from there you can read all the stories that go along with the art pieces during the week. So thanks a lot and have a great day. Bye for now.